Hi, I'm Chris Bryant, and you're watching the home for Cubs baseball, CSN Chicago, presented by State Farm.
According to Stats Inc., it's the first time 4 first-place teams have played in one city on the very same day. The Cubs and Nationals begin a 4-game series at Wrigley Field tonight. We'll have the first 3 of those matchups for you here on Comcast Sportsnet.
And 2 more first-place teams on the south side in the rubber game between the White Sox and Boston. You can also catch this game on our network on CSN+. Also, at the top of the hour, we preview all the action right now on Sportsnet Central.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
Hi, everybody. Alongside Mark Shanowski, I'm Chris Bowden. Welcome into Sportsnet Central, presented by Comcast Business. It's a gem of a night on the Diamonds. As we mentioned, first place showdown on the south side and another on the north side. It's a 2 for Thursday here on our network.
We don't have to oversell these games. The Cubs are facing a very hot squad. Dusty Baker's Washington Nationals have won 5 of their first 6 games on an extended road trip. They've got an unbeaten starting pitcher going tonight. Kelly Krull is at Wrigley Field. She has our Coors Light game report.
Well, thanks a lot, Mark. What more do you need to say? The 2 best records in Major League Baseball, the 2 best in the National League, meeting this weekend at Wrigley Field. Of course, Joe Maddon's potent offense against Dusty Baker's very dangerous starting staff. The 2nd best ERA in the league, a 2.35. Only second to the Cubs themselves. And of course, who needs to say last year's MVP Bryce Harper going up against, Jake Arrieta on Sunday. That'll be fun tonight. It is Kyle Hendricks and Joe Ross starting things off. Of course, Joe Maddon and Dusty Baker, both managers who like to keep a loose clubhouse, just tell their guys to be themselves, go about their business, and we'll see which one does that better this weekend. As for Joe, he says it's just a 1 game at a time type approach.
I hate to bore people constantly, but it's just about tonight. I sat down, I didn't write out weekend's worth of lineups. I just wrote out today's lineup based on part of its moving parts for us. What is Hayward going to be like tomorrow as an example? Breaking down their team, Ross and Scherzer, and then Gonzalez and then Work. How do we stack up against them? How do you play everybody? What is your defense? Because we're so versatile on defense. There's different ways to move it around, but one of your regular guys like Hayward is kind of banged up. Just be a little bit more patient with that regarding writing stuff down too far in advance. So I'm all about tonight, man. If you're a Major League Baseball fan, yeah, I want to believe you're going to be looking in our direction for the next 4 days. That's good stuff. But from our perspective, the way you get to the playoffs and win a World Series is by taking it 1 moment at a time. So I really hope that our guys are just focused on tonight.
Well, the Cubs will certainly look to keep momentum rolling following a 3-game sweep of the Pirates on the road. The Northsiders outscored the Bucks 20-5 in that series. Dexter Fowler just continues to set the tone off the top. Anthony Rizzo, 7 for 14 in that series. And Ben Zobrist, 6 RBI, including that big 3-run blast yesterday. And here's the players' take on the big weekend series at home.
They're a good team. Obviously, we just played a good team in Pittsburgh, and it'll be fun to test our mettle a little bit here this series. So, we get 4 games against a good Nationals team and see almost everybody in their rotation, and they've got a great lineup. They've been playing well the last few games too, especially against Kansas City. So I think it'll be a good matchup. We get a little bit excited about these series, but we keep it under wraps pretty much. Early in the season like this.
This kind of gives us a map on I guess where we're at. We get to go against the other best team right now. So it's gonna be some good competition. We're looking forward to play, and we're gonna be playing hard.
We feel like every series is fun for us. Being one of the teams that are expected to do well. I feel like everybody brings their A game, and that's what's always fun. We played some good teams so far, and we know there's nothing but more to come. So it's gonna be a lot of fun playing good baseball, good competition. Just playing a good team in Pittsburgh at their place, and I know we swept that, but still, there's gonna be another time when we play them again and again and again. So those battles are always fun.
You heard from Jason Hayward right there, who is out of the starting lineup for the 4th consecutive game. He said he would go through batting practice, which he did this evening, and then see how he felt. But his hopes were to be back in the lineup come tomorrow. One other note, Neil Ramirez placed on the club's bereavement list, Mark, so he'll be out of the mix this evening. But it's Kyle Hendricks and Joe Ross getting this big 4-game series underway this evening. Certainly a special treat for fans this early in the season.
All right, Kelly, we also heard the mariachi band during your interview, so Joe Madden again going with the motivation on Cinco de Mayo. We'll look for your reports. Today's CSN Bar of the Game, presented by Coors Light, is Yaxie's in Wrigleyville. If you aren't heading out to Wrigley Field, you can watch today's CSN broadcast at Yaxie's, 3710 North Clark. To see the complete list of the CSN Bars of the Game presented by Coors Light, visit csnchicago.com. Much more coming up on the Cubs Nationals opener later in the show. We'll get the pregame thoughts of Washington skipper Dusty Baker. And we'll also get some analysis on how these teams match up from Todd Hollandsworth, who, of course, played for Dusty when he was with the Cubs.
Two teams at the tops of their divisions. Abreu socks this ball right center field. Abreu digging for third. It's an RBI triple. Jackson is back. He jumps, and Austin Jackson reels it in. The White Sox win the opener. Sox have done a pretty good job of keeping the big bats down. Eaton back at the wall, and this is out of here. David Ortiz gives the Red Sox the lead. The White Sox split the first two with the Red Sox.
As the Cubs in Washington begin their first place showdown, the White Sox and Bo Sox wrapping up their 3-game set after splitting the first 2 games of that series. And as they get set for the rubber match, all eyes on the guy taking the bump. Sierra Santos joins us live from U.S. Cellular Field with more on the candidate getting first crack at filling the role left by the now departed John Danks. Good evening, Sierra.
You know, you mentioned mariachis before. I got a whole band right behind me here at this cell where Eric Johnson is getting ready to make his first start of the season. Of course, that announcement coming on Tuesday with the release of John Danks. Now, in his 4 starts in Charlotte, he is 1-1 with a .374 ERA, but this certainly is not unfamiliar territory for the 26-year-old.
Well, he's been here before, so, you know, it becomes important just because he's getting a shot at it. And I think for him, you know, we went through periods where he pitched well enough to be up here, and then he went through a stretch that he didn't. So, again, we're at a point where we're looking for that guy to step up and be that guy at the 5th spot. Throwing strikes was his biggest strength, and, you know, being able to get a little curveball over when you needed to. You know, he went through a stretch where he wasn't doing that. You can't do that up here. And this will be a shot for him to do that.
Meanwhile, Avisail Garcia is back in the DH spot. He strained his hamstring on Friday against the Orioles and hasn't been in the lineup the last 4 games, but he says he's feeling 100% and knew exactly when he was ready to go.
Yesterday, you know, in the 8th inning, it was, you know, practice, take a swing, running hard. So, you know, I talked to the manager, so I feel better, so I can play now. I feel good, you know, happy to be back, and that's what we're here for, you know, to play baseball and help my team win.
A few roster moves before tonight's game. Pitcher Jake Petrichka was placed on the 15-day DL with a right hip impingement, and Tommy Canley was recalled in his place. Along with the Cinco de Mayo festivities, there's also a pregame ceremony for Big Papi David Ortiz for his last game here, his last regular season game, that is, at the Cell. So for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio. We'll have more from Big Papi coming up on the White Sox broadcast.
All right, thanks very much, Sierra. Go have fun with the dueling mariachi bands on both sides of town. Hope to see a post-game on-field interview afterwards.
And our baseball coverage has just begun. The commissioner, Rob Manfred, is in the house at U.S. Cellular Field tonight. He says it's pretty cool to have 4 first-place teams playing at the same time in Chicago. Dusty Baker is back as a manager in the big leagues. He's got his toothpicks ready to go tonight. He also gives us his review on the new and improved friendly confines. Plus, how will Kyle Hendricks fare with his extra rest tonight? Our expert analyst, Todd Hollandsworth, will join us with his keys to a Cubs win over the Nationals.
Sportsnet Central brought to you by Comcast Business. Comcast Business, built for business.
Introducing Comcast Business Wi-Fi Pro with next-level speed, coverage, marketing, and control features. Plus, Wi-Fi Pro offers what AT&T's Wi-Fi small site doesn't. Professional installation, advanced security, and millions of hotspots nationwide. Looks like taking your business to the next level starts with ditching AT&T. Give your business an edge with Comcast Business Wi-Fi Pro. Comcast Business, built for business.
Hey, honey. You remember to lock the Buick, right?
Of course I do. I'd never forget that.
The Buick Remote Link app, now available in every Buick.
You closed all the apartment windows, too.
Come on. Really?
You're the best.
Now get this low-mileage lease on this 2016 Buick Encore for around $179 a month.
I'm Paige. I have 2 kids, and we're a Zulily family. Finding clothes that are different and unique, Zulily helps with that. When they really like something, they actually take the phone from me to flip through the app themselves. I love going on Zulily every day because it's fresh, there's new events, so many different styles and brands, and of course the great prices. It's all right there on Zulily.
Discover unique items for any style at up to 70% off. Shop Zulily.com today.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Welcome back to Sportsnet Central. The Cubs haven't just been beating opponents. They've been crushing them. Taking a look at the top run differentials through the first 26 games of a season since 1900. These Northsiders are at plus 93, third best all-time for those over an entire course of a season, and presently on pace to be the best in baseball history.
Yeah, the Cubs are scary good right now. Well, 10 years after Dusty Baker was fired as manager of the Cubs, he's still a lightning rod for criticism for his overuse of starting pitchers Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor and his inability to control the Cubs clubhouse. But you really can't argue with Dusty's record. He's taken the Giants, Cubs, and Reds to the playoffs, and right now he has the Washington Nationals in first place. Dusty told reporters a short time ago he's just glad to be back in baseball.
I've been in pro ball since I was 18, and I've been in ball, period, since I was born, seems like. And so this is where I feel most comfortable, at the ballpark. I don't know, I just like to, like to compete. I mean, there's nothing better than that, than competition. And I was busy doing outside interests on different things when I was out of the game, but, nothing replaces the thrill of competition, and the highs and the lows, and it's much like life. I mean, it's never really just all good or all bad, and so you try to be as consistent as you can, and this is how I would like my teams to respond. Last year was the first year I came here in a couple of years, during the playoffs when I was working here, and things are improved. I mean, this is improved. Look at this place. I mean, before I was in kind of like a dungeon over here around the corner. And then I walked in here and I saw, the lights and stuff, and, I was ready to, Saturday night fever when I was coming down.
Maybe they'll invite Dusty for the post-game celebration party with the strobe lights. Time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. Dusty, quite the turnaround artist. The 1993 Giants won 31 more games in year one under Baker. The 03 Cubs, as we all know, won the division, came within 5 outs of the World Series. I think there was a documentary called 5 Outs.
Rings a bell.
Yeah, the 08 Reds didn't have as much success, but this year's Nationals have the second best record in the majors behind the Cubs. That's Comcast Business, built for business.
Cardinals are trying to take 3 of 4 from the Phils in a matinee at Busch. Bottom one, Brandon Moss cranks out a long home run to right, 438 feet off the second deck. Facade, his third homer of the month, puts the Cardinals on the board. 2-0 in the 7th. With the bases loaded, Stephen Piscotty rips a double down the left field line. That drives in a couple to double the host lead. Then more Piscotty. And who doesn't enjoy a good Piscotty every once in a while? In the 9th, Andres Blanco hits a fly ball to right. Piscotty racing into foul territory to make the diving catch. He helps preserve the shutout that was started by Jaime Garcia as St. Louis beats the Phillies 4-0. Commissioner Rob Manfred had a previously scheduled trip to U.S. Cellular Field tonight. There reportedly will soon be more suspensions for players testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. That after defending NL batting champ Dee Gordon of Miami was banned for 80 games late last week. MLB's testing methods have improved, and Manfred was asked about how the league and the Players Union may tackle that issue when the current labor deal ends after this season.
Historically, we have made proposals and will this time around that are designed to strengthen the drug program in a variety of ways. To the extent that players have expressed views about additional sanctions, tougher programs, I'd encourage them to make sure that the MLBPA knows their views and that the union carries those views to the table with them.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, tonight's games here in town between the White Sox in Boston on the south side and the Cubs in Washington on the north side. The first time in Major League history, 4 first-place teams are playing in the same city on the same day. But the commissioner plans on staying at 35th and Shields to watch both Sox tonight. Manfred told our Chuck Garfine that having 2 first-place teams in Chicago, good for baseball.
We're neutral in New York. Whoever wins, wins. But I would be less than candid if I didn't admit to you that the idea of 2 Chicago teams being in the playoffs wasn't appealing. Obviously, both teams have done a great job, kind of with different strategies of putting their rosters together, and are playing great right now.
The World Series, though. Think about that. We're already thinking about it. It's early May. We're thinking about it.
Yeah, think about all the travel it would save me, right? I mean, I could just come and stay. It would be great.
There you go, Cubs and Sox. Do it for the commissioner. As we head to break, here's a look at Robin Venturo's lineup card for the series finale against Boston. You can watch that game on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. The one big change Sierra told you about, Avi Garcia returning after a strained right hamstring. Hector Sanchez gives Deanna Navarro a night off behind the plate. We're coming right back.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
Wow, bear season was incredible, but it was absolutely freezing. So Wrigleyville Sports helped me warm up for Bulls season. They were on fire all year long. Then came the Blackhawks, and they got hot too. But now the boys of summer are back, and it's time to head to the south side. On second thought, it's a perfect day to get some sun in the bleachers.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate a remarkable car polish. New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on and just wipe it off. It's that easy. And look, New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. So get New Finish.
Available at Advance Auto, Target, Home Depot, Walgreens, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
You're not gonna watch it. No, you're not gonna watch it. We can't let you download on the go. You'll just have to miss it.
No thanks, I have X1 from Xfinity, so.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Xfinity lets you download your shows from anywhere. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
I used to like that song.
In other news today, He's 44 years old, but so what? Jaromir Jagr still led the Florida Panthers with 66 points this season, so they're bringing him back on a one-year deal with a $4 million base salary. Jagr's third on the NHL's all-time goal-scoring list with 749. He's just 52 behind Gordie Howe.
But he's just 52. I'm like, wait, I thought you said he was 44. Well, surprising news out of Indy. Pacers president of basketball operations, the great Larry Bird, decides he doesn't want to bring back head coach Frank Vogel. The defensive-minded Vogel did a great job with the Pacers. He had a record of 250 and 181 over 6 seasons. But Bird wants the team to play at a faster pace and score more points, and thought Indiana should have been better than a 7 seed in the East this past season. Now he's looking for a new coach.
And to the NFL, and when Jerry Jones speaks, it's usually news. The Cowboys owner said today the team will not put second-round draft pick Jalen Smith on injured reserve to begin the season, even though there's some question the star linebacker out of Notre Dame can play at all from the torn knee ligaments and nerve damage sustained in the Fiesta Bowl. Jones says they'll take a chance on Smith being ready for the playoffs. Smith himself has expressed confidence he'll return at some point in 2016.
A very optimistic view. Back to baseball. Here's the lineup Joe Madden will send out for tonight's opener against the Nationals at Wrigley Field. Dexter Fowler in his customary leadoff role. Tommy La Stella at third tonight. Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist in the middle, followed by minor league call-up Ryan Kalish in left. Addison Russell at short. Tim Federowicz catching Kyle Hendricks. Let's bring on our Cubs expert analyst Todd Hollinsworth live from Wrigley Field. Todd, Dusty Baker is taking over a very talented team in Washington. What was your experience like playing for Dusty, and is he the right man to lead the Nationals coming off an underachieving season?
Well, that's right, coming off an underachieving season, but this is a team with a lot of talent, led by Bryce Harper, Max Scherzer in this rotation. This is a very, very good ball club. They're playing great baseball right now. Many in the industry really did believe that Dusty would be the guy to right this ship. You know, originally it might have been Bud Black. You know, it ends up going to Dusty Baker. He has absolutely taken this team, and he's turned it around. He's calmed things down in that clubhouse, and I really think that's been the key. If you think back to last year, a lot of things fired up. Papelbon and Harper got into it in the dugout. I mean, there were so many things that were kind of pulling this team down. Dusty has showed up, and he's got these guys moving in the right direction.
Well, Holly, how surprised are you to see Daniel Murphy carrying over his level of play from last fall, leading the majors, hitting .398 after getting his big payday? Has the light just turned on for this guy after, what, 8 years in the major leagues?
Well, I mean, there's something to it. I mean, we go back to October baseball last year, and we saw Daniel Murphy tear the cover off the ball. Consecutive homer games in the postseason in which he was homering. I mean, all of a sudden this power surge showed up. Now, he's always been a very good hitter, and he's still a good contact hitter. Doesn't strike out a lot, doesn't walk a whole lot. But again, the power was the one thing that really showed up last year for him. Yes, he's carried it over. 400. Listen, we'll see where this ultimately goes, but he made a swing adjustment last year where he really worked on keeping that front foot down and allowing himself to be a little bit quicker to the fastball, and you've seen it work. So if you thought that, well, maybe last year was a flash in the pan, think again, because you know what? He has been as good as Bryce Harper. Actually, statistically so far, he's been better than Bryce Harper.
Yeah, the Mets are doing okay as well. Neil Walker's doing a good job at second base. Time for our Fields Auto Group keys to the game. Holly, what do you got for tonight's opener against the Nationals?
Well, Kyle Hendricks' changeup is absolutely going to be key. We talk about this Nats lineup now. Looking at them on paper, statistically speaking, they kind of fall in the middle of the pack, but they've been hot lately. Scored a bunch of runs, double-digit runs scored yesterday in the game in Kansas City. Guys have been going long ball. I think Kyle's changeup is going to be a big pitch for him tonight. It keeps hitters off balance, and if it's good, he can get great results. But I think the key really is ultimately going to be the fact that he has not pitched in 8 days and where that changeup might be. The second key to the game is the litmus test. You got one of the best teams in baseball in Chicago. It's going to be exciting. Great pitching, great hitting, great teams, and great expectations are all starting tonight in a 4-game series.
All right, Todd, thanks very much. We'll see you back here in the studio a bit and get ready for Post-Game Live with Cap. And we have much more coming up here on Sportsnet Central. The scene at Wrigley Field as the Cubs get set to take on the Washington Nationals.
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
Thank you. Ordering Chinese food is a very predictable experience. I order B14, I get B14. No surprises. Buying business internet, on the other hand, can be a roller coaster white-knuckle thrill ride. You're promised one speed, but do you consistently get it? You do with Comcast Business. It's reliable, just like Kung Pao fish. Thank you, Pink.
Reliably fast internet starts at $59.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
Are you bothered by bills? You know you should file Chapter 7 or 13, but you're nervous and unsure, so you do nothing? Get the most experience, the best reviews, friendly and hard-working lawyers, good advice, superior service, and fair fees. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. With over 100,000 clients, Geraci Law is the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
It's a whole new ball game with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV.
It is magic.
Experience the ultimate season ticket, now at a new lower price.
Unbelievable.
Every punch-out, every rundown,
What a play.
and every walk-off. All at your fingertips. And with MLB.TV included, you can watch nearly 100 live games a week on over 400 supported devices. Don't miss a minute of the action. Follow your favorite team on any screen with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Order now.
Dave owed back taxes. After being hit with a wage garnishment and a bank levy, Dave struggled with his finances. He thought all was lost. Then he found out about U.S. Tax Shield.
If you have been threatened with a wage garnishment, bank levy, or tax lien,
call 1-800-758-3117.
Sandra and Victor owed an enormous amount of money to the IRS. U.S. Tax Shield was able to reduce their tax debt so that they were able to maintain their lifestyle.
owe $15,000 or more to the IRS or state? Call U.S. Tax Shield.
Call 1-800-758-3117.
A home is where life is lived. The unmistakable beauty and performance of Unilock pavers and walls enrich the quality of outdoor living, where perfect settings and cherished moments become memories that last a lifetime. Live life beautifully with Unilock.
One final reminder, up next, the series opener between the Cubs and Nationals on Comcast Sportsnet. Over on CSN Plus, the series finale between the Red Sox and White Sox. 4 first-place teams, all in our city. We hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching Sportsnet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
Time to clear the decks. A big night of baseball. 4 first-place teams going head-to-head in the city of Chicago. Enjoy the Cubs and Nats on this network, Sox and the Red Sox on Plus.
T-Mobile is going big for small business. You'll never get charged data overages, ever. Get your own 24/7 dedicated business account team. And with double the LTE coverage in the last year, you can get more done in more places. Right now, get 2 lines with 6 gigs each for just $80. And for a limited time, get a hotspot free. Yeah, free. Switch your business to T-Mobile at work today.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
I have a list.
Okay.
So, she needs automatic emergency braking, blind spot detection, and lane departure warning.
All available on the Elantra and Sonata.
And a better warranty than Toyota, Nissan, or Chevy.
America's best warranty, standard with every Hyundai.
Let's check in with the boss.
Okay. Sorry, excuse me.
We'll take both.
Hurry in and lease the 2017 Elantra for just $144 a month.
Just one.
She seems like a great boss.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much did my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance. Find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
Wrigleyville is buzzing with baseball's top 2 teams in town. Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Should be a fun weekend. Couple of first-place teams will match up. It's the first of 4 between the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs. Great to have you with us. This should be a fun weekend. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. Nice night tonight. It's going to warm up tomorrow. And a lot of interesting comparisons between these 2 really good clubs.
Yeah, high expectations for both these clubs coming into the season. They have not disappointed. They're playing better than .700 baseball. The pitching has led the way. Certainly for the Nationals, Cubs lead the league in runs scored. The Nationals kind of middle of the pack in terms of offensive statistics, but the pitching for the Nationals has been outstanding. They trail only the Cubs in team ERA.
In terms of possible MVP votes this year, well, you have the unanimous choice from last year on a non-playoff team. That was Bryce Harper. You have Anthony Rizzo, who finished 4th. These 2 guys will be in the mix again.
Yeah, and Harper's been in a bit of a funk. He had a nice day yesterday, hit his 10th home run. Anthony Rizzo has been scorching hot. He was 7 out of 14 with a home run and 5 doubles in that series in Pittsburgh.
And how about in the dugouts? A couple of veteran managers, 6 Manager of the Year awards combined. Dusty Baker, the former Cubs skipper, and Joe Madden in his 2nd year with the team. Right now, the Cubs 20-6.
Yeah, a couple of high-profile managers. Good to get these guys together. Good to see Dusty Baker back in a Major League dugout. I wasn't sure it was going to happen for him the way the game has evolved, but those Nationals players have really responded to Dusty.
It's Joe Ross for the Nationals, Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs. Game 1 of 4 between the Nationals and the Cubs. Next.
Hi. I need something that can keep up with all my adventures.
Well, the RAV4 has available Sport Tune suspension.
I like the sound of that.
And great handling, so it can do just about anything.
Thanks, Jan. This is exactly what I'm looking for.
I know.
Do you?
Yep.
Right now, during Toyota time, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2016 RAV4. Hurry in today.
Here are your keys.
Thanks.
See you out there.
Sweet.
Toyota, let's go places.
The simple truth is, sometimes life isn't just. Someone crosses over the line, the best laid plans fail, or the sky falls, and lives are changed forever, and people suffer. And when that happens, you might find a system that is not just. That's the reason I began my career, because even when life isn't just, there can be justice, and everyone deserves justice.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
Your partner is marrying your sister? It's busy.
You say that again, I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
You got a new assignment. We're sending you to Miami.
I'm taking the lead because we're not ready.
I'm ready, man.
Okay.
Let's get ridiculous!
How do we get in undetected?
Prince Admiral Stephen Matumbe.
Plus my 2 servants.
I'm not your servant.
Hey, you are what I say.
Ride along 2 with the hilarious gag reel. Now playing on DirecTV Cinema. Movies start at channel 125. Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
It is cool, but the wind not really a factor. At least for the time being, it was blowing straight in during batting practice. And clear skies above as the Cubs open up a 10-game homestand. Kyle Hendricks on the mound for the first time in over a week. And let's check out the Washington Nationals Southwest starting lineup. They won at Kansas City yesterday, season high 13 runs. Michael Taylor is in center. Ben Revere on the DL with an oblique injury. We might see him tomorrow get activated. Anthony Rendon is at third. Bryce Harper in right. Ryan Zimmerman plays first. Daniel Murphy off to a hot start. Had a big game yesterday. Jason Worth, the veteran, is in left. Wilson Ramos leading all catchers at batting average. Danny Espinosa moves over to short after Ian Desmond left. And Joe Ross can handle the bat. He will hit ninth.
Check in with the Cubs defensively. Jason Hayward still bothered by that sore wrist. He likely will be in there tomorrow, but for tonight it's Kalish in left, Fowler center field. Chris Bryant will play right. Around the horn we'll go La Stella, Russell, Zobrist, and Rizzo. Tim Fedorovich behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Kyle Hendricks. He is 1-2 through 4 starts. Has a .391 ERA. Pitched a couple times against the Nationals last year and pitched well. A win and no decision, a .225 ERA in those 2 starts. The question is, how sharp will he be after a long time off the mound? Took some extra work in the bullpen. He's always had such good command of his pitches. I don't think it'll be an issue. The one question would be maybe he'll be a little too strong. Sometimes that can work against a finesse pitcher, a guy who likes to sink the fastball. We'll see.
We'll see tonight's umpires. Carapazza back of the plate. Here is Michael Taylor to lead it off. And a strike, and we're underway. Talked to Chris Bosio. He's not concerned about Hendricks, who threw a fair amount between starts. Wants him to attack and work quickly, which is kind of the mantra for every Cubs starting pitcher. And with the 2 rainouts last week, the 2 choices was a sharply hit ground ball to the shortstop Russell. High throw. Rizzo stays on the bag, 1 out. 2 choices are to push everybody back and get 5 guys out of the routine, or have 1 guy get pushed way back and try to keep everybody else basically in their turn.
Yeah, and that's the plan they opted for, and that's what most clubs will do. And especially with a guy like Hendricks, who does have such good command, you're not worried about him too much.
Here's Rendon, the third baseman.
Rendon off to a bit of a slow start.
They're still,
he can rake. He's a good hitter.
Still waiting for their offense to really get it in gear. They have pitched incredibly well.
Ooh, hello.
0-2. Cubs fresh off a 3-game sweep in Pittsburgh. Well, the game time temperature is 47 degrees with a northeast wind at 5, and this might be the first time I've ever said it. And yes, it is Cinco de Mayo. Cubs had a mariachi band actually perform in the clubhouse before the game as Rendon pops it up. It feels like a warm 47. I don't know if I've ever said that in this ballpark.
But I'm with you. It's the breeze. You know, it's not very windy. It's not real damp. We'll see as the sun continues to go down. I'm sure it'll get a little frosty, but right now it's comfortable.
Mixed reaction for Bryce Harper, the reigning MVP, youngest unanimous National League MVP ever at 22 last year. 2 hits and a home run yesterday, but as JD mentioned, had cooled off quite a bit in his previous 7 games before yesterday. 2 for 26.
42 home runs last year, 10 so far this year. He has become very adept at getting the ball in the air. Big, strong guy, and he's And to lift the ball, and he's not just pull side, he'll go deep the other way. Big time power.
With the Nationals and Cubs here, and about 8 miles to the south, the Red Sox and the White Sox matching up. This is the first time in Major League history 4 first-place teams have played on the same day in the same city. Three and one. There's Dusty Baker.
They should have gotten all the managers together for a picture earlier today.
Yeah. That will get out of play off of third. Ryan Zimmerman on deck. 3-2 to Harper is low for ball 4. And here is Ryan Zimmerman.
Part of the evolution of Bryce Harper is the patience too, the ability to take walks, the willingness to accept walks. It's part of the maturity, the growth of a young hitter. He's become a complete package. And he'll steal a base too. Rizzo's having a hard time seeing over there, squatting and using his left hand to shield his eyes.
Speaking of base running and base stealing, former Cub Davey Lopes, one of the best in the business, is their first base coach. Bob Henley is over at third. Did you know?
I'm going to go no.
Stolen base percentage, career stolen base percentage, all time, top 2 guys, Davey Lopes students, Chase Utley and Jason Worth. And I don't think it's a coincidence.
I did not know that.
They were together in Philadelphia for many years. Of course, Davey would have been a teammate of Dusty's in L.A., right?
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Lopes, you know, not a real big guy, but he had pop. Hit the ball out of the ballpark, as well as steal bases for you. Part of that infield with Garvey and Russell and Say.
1-1 on Zimmerman. Harper back head first.
Zimmerman got the Gary Sheffield thing going with his bat.
Long-time third baseman, has not played that position in a couple of years due to shoulder and throwing issues. 7 career DL stints, including at least 1 each over the last 5 seasons. Outside corner, he didn't like the call by Vic Carpazza.
Making the point that the pitch was off the plate. It was on the corner.
There goes Harper.
Got a little too much of the plate. Zimmerman not hitting for much power. He's only hit 1 home run so far this year.
See if Harper's on the move. He is not. The ball is grounded to Russell. Busy first for Addison. 2-out walk, no runs allowed by Kyle Hendricks. Cubs will get it going with the bats when we come back.
Hey, Chicago, when did paying for airfare become so unfair? At Southwest, we believe in transparency. Transparency means we don't dream up ways we can trick you into paying more. It's why we still let 2 bags fly free and don't have change fees. So our low fares stay low. Just the way you like it.
My name is Rick Lopez. I'm the executive chef here at La Condesa in Austin, Texas. I started when I was a young guy, plugging away, pushing, doing the hours, and it's kind of brought me here to where I am now, just hard work. My philosophy is work. Work and it'll happen. Always give your best because nobody can take that away from you.
Greatness is within reach. Right now, you could get a great deal on the new Civic, KBB.com's overall best buy for 2016. From Honda.
In an instant, lives changed forever.
He was strapped in, but he hit him so hard he flew out the stroller.
Innocent bystanders killed and injured as a result of police chases. Families across the city and suburbs torn apart.
They just finally called it. He was gone.
The death toll is staggering and rising rapidly.
Putting lives at risk is a very risky business.
Could these deaths be prevented? NBC5's Phil Rogers investigates. Deadly Pursuit, tonight at 10.
The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Fowler reached base to lead off an inning 7 times in the 3 games in Pittsburgh. LaStella at third. Bryant's going to play the outfield again tonight. Rizzo had that big 3-game set. Zobrist the game-winning homer yesterday. Kalish with his first start this season. Russell bats 7th, Fedorovich 8th, and the pitcher Hendricks 9th.
Nationals have been very good defensively. They've committed just 9 errors, fewest in Major League Baseball. They have not made more than 1 error in any single game this year. You see the outfield, Worth, Taylor, Harper, infield, Rendon, Espinosa, Murphy, and Zimmerman. Ramos behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Joe Ross, the young right-hander. Has been quite good, 2-0 with an 0.79. Sinker, slider, changeup.
Younger brother of the Padres, Tyson Ross. And the sinker low and outside.
Yeah, got to get that sinker up so he can inflict some damage, but so far nobody's really been able to do a whole lot of that against him.
He turns 23 later this month. That's a called strike. Nationals are not thrilled with Vic Carpazza's strike zone, but it might be a pitcher-friendly one tonight.
Slider is a good, sharp, late-breaking slider. That's probably his best pitch. His last start, he used his changeup a little bit more. So he's got some weapons. Very good athlete. Holds runners well. He can swing the bat.
Just low.
Made his Major League debut against the Cubs last June.
Took the loss that day. But, his brother was in attendance. He received permission from the Padres to fly from Cincinnati to D.C. and he got him on the breaking pitch for the first out.
Yeah, it's kind of rare to see Dexter making that slow stroll back to the dugout. Been on base so frequently. Here's that slide ball right on the inside edge. Almost yanks it back a little bit.
We will see his older brother's team next week. The Padres come in. Tyson is on the DL. He started for the Padres on opening day. Has been out since with shoulder inflammation. 1 strike on Tommy LaStella. Line to deep left. And Worth will chase it down on the warning track. It's a double for LaStella.
I've seen a fair bit of that from Tommy LaStella. Not just the ability to hit the ball the other way, but to drive it with authority the other way. Great swing, man. Nose right on it.
Now Chris Bryant, who has a 10-game hitting streak. (16 out of 39 during the streak. That's a .410 batting average. Ball one.
Yeah, this is a good matchup here. Ross going to try to get Chris to offer at that slider. He's very patient. Usually doesn't chase that pitch off the plate. Right-handed batters, I know it's still a small sample. He hasn't pitched a lot of innings yet, but batting .128 against him. Has not walked a right-handed batter yet this year.
Bryant just over a full major league season. He's hit .306 here at Wrigley Field with 23 home runs and under 300 at bats. On pause by Ross. Here's a 1-1 in on his hands that time. Cubs will get settled in here at home. They've won 7 of their first 10 at Wrigley Field, and they'll have 10 in a row here before they next hit the road. 13-3 on the road. And was that a pitch?
It's a pitch.
It was 3-1, so it actually worked out for Bryant. As Carapazza did not call time.
Yeah, Ross will do that. Max Scherzer will do that from time to time. Or just hold the ball a long time. Normally with a man on first base, just trying to upset the timing of a would-be base stealer. It can upset the timing of the hitter too.
Ground ball up the middle. Backhanded by Murphy. And then he throws him out. Stella's at third. 2 outs in the inning, and here's Anthony Rizzo. Seven hits, including 5 doubles and a home run in that series at Pittsburgh, and should have had 8 hits. Did you see Andrew McCutchen's comments?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
After the game yesterday, that screamer Rizzo hit to center that was knuckling on McCutchen. It went in and out of his glove. McCutchen actually left his feet. He was given an error, and after the game he said the official scorer should be fired.
Yeah, I expect that one to get overturned.
Yeah, I do too.
Clint Hurdle said as much, even though it's going to cost his pitcher 3 earned runs, because it came right before the Zobrist home run.
So a foul strike on Rizzo. There's Ben Zobrist on deck.
Anthony Rizzo has a major league best .771 slugging percentage against right-handed pitching. He had evil intent with that swing. I think that was a changeup, not particularly well placed. You know, Ross primarily sinker slider, but as I mentioned in his last start, he used that changeup a little bit more often, had success with it.
Lifted in the air to right. Harper is in and over near the foul line, and he puts 2 hands on it, and that will end the threat. With Stella stranded at third. 0-0 after 1.
Rebecca told Taco Bell she'd fold 1,000 paper swans. Brian said he'd wear 55 pounds of salmon in bear country. And Patrick, he said he'd literally do anything. Fans promised to do lots of things to bring back their favorite burritos.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
A promise is a promise, Patrick. Grab the cheesy double beef or the beefy crunch burrito for just $1. You brought him back. We made him $1. You earned it.
We are here at Benny's Beverage Depot, and Joe, it's amazing how many good young players arrived to the Cubs at the same time. Have you ever seen anything quite like that?
I've been in some good organizations, California Angels, the Anaheim Angels, and then eventually the Rays and Tampa Bay, and I've had a lot of really good young players, but not the numbers or the quality that exists right now, and then their ability to play at such a high level and at such a young age with the lack of experience.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
We're never having kids.
Breathe.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Daniel Murphy got a 3-year free agent contract with the Nationals after a huge postseason last year. Big home run he hit in the NLCS off Kyle Hendricks against the Dodgers in the division series. 2 homers off Clayton Kershaw, including the game winner in game 1.
Second baseman.
Game winner off Zach Greinke in the decisive game 5. Cup fans letting him hear it.
It's been an interesting transformation for Murphy. He's always been a good hitter, a line drive hitter, but you think he's always been more of a slap it the other way, line drive, hit it on the ground. But he made some mechanical changes. He's a little more crouched and pulling the ball, lifting the ball, hitting for a lot more power last year or so. .398 batting average, a .449 on base.
That ball lashed foul.
And you know the Nationals don't need to make any changes, right? They're in first place. They're playing great baseball, but we mentioned how they're kind of middle of the pack offensively, and it will be interesting to see if the guys at the top of the order continue to struggle. If Dusty makes some changes and gets Murphy up there in front of Bryce Harper. You know, Harper's just not getting that many plate appearances with men on base.
Right. Well, they hope to get Revere back, and they think that'll help. So here's how baseball works. I mean, Daniel Murphy obviously has a big volume of work, but I mentioned the division series. 9 for 17, 4 homers, 6 RBIs against the Cubs. He homered in every game of the Mets sweep, was the NLCS MVP. World Series against Kansas City, 3 for 20. And after playing great defense prior to that, he was a little shaky in the World Series. I mean, you think about just the defense. Lucas Duda and Daniel Murphy played against the Cubs. It's like they played a perfect 4-game
Murphy
series.
Never been thought of as a a great defender.
In the dirt. Jason Worth on deck. Softly lifted to center. Dexter Fowler's got it. good friend George Will, a political pundit who actually lives in Washington, D.C., but a lifelong Cub fan. We run into George a lot when we go to Washington. Well, he's here, and it's his birthday. And he must know somebody. He's got a pretty good seat.
He's set up down there. Got his own row.
Wish he had something to talk about and write about in his day job.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on the political front these days.
One strike on Worth. Big Jim Obojkowicz celebrating a birthday today. In the Cubs marketing department.
How old's Big Jim?
I don't know. I'm going to guess 35.
You know, Lenny Marullo, our good buddy Lenny Marullo, he had up here in the booth with us a couple of years ago. He would have been 99 today. Passed away at the end of May last year.
What a nice man.
Oh, that was so much fun when we had him up here.
Cubs hitting coach John Maley, turning 47 today.
Didn't know that. I would have bought him a cake.
Would you really have?
No.
Worth pops it up. Rizzo racing over near the barrier, and it's behind the dugout. Actually hit the guy wire.
The Nationals, they're not a real patient team. They're not like the Cubs. They're not like that Pirate team we just saw. The Pirates see a lot of pitches. Not so much with the Nationals, but this guy's an exception. Worth always been one of the more patient hitters in the league. Typically sees a lot of pitches.
There's the Chicago native, John Maley. In the background is Worth, strikes out. 2 down. First punch out for Kyle Hendricks.
Cub fans, you don't have to wait until summer to enjoy your Fridays. Kick off the weekends with your favorite team. Tickets are still available for hot Friday matchups, including tomorrow's 120 game with the Nationals. And next Friday with the Pirates. Get your tickets at Cubs.com. Great way to start the weekend. Maybe you're starting it early because it's Cinco de Mayo.
Wilson Ramos, first pitch swinging and a fly ball to right. Bryant has it, inning over as the Nationals go down in order in the second. 0-0.
Cubs versus Nationals series sponsorship presented by Echo Outdoor Power Equipment.
For the last 5 days, 17 hours, and 23 minutes, you've been a passenger.
I'm back in baby's arms. How I miss those.
The Mazda 6 with Skyactiv technology makes it good to be a driver.
Back in baby's arms.
And the #1 window and door company in America is
Feldco.
To celebrate this amazing achievement, Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
On behalf of the entire Feldco team, thank you. And remember, 2 windows for the price of 1 ends soon. So hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
We built this thingy. We built this thingy on tech that's old. We built this thingy. But we built.
Yeah, Xfinity built this newer thingy that lets me search with my voice.
We're good. Don't fall for DirecTV. Find shows faster with the X1 voice remote, only from Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
This is really happening. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Mariachi there.
Hay colomitos inolvidables, inolvidables como las tardes en que la lluvia desde la loma no nos dejaba ir a
Yes, Yes, the mariachi band entertained Cubs players before the ball game.
They were really good too.
They were.
Which I had their name because if you had a party and you needed a mariachi band, I would highly recommend those guys.
Can we find out the name of the band?
No. Have to do a little digging.
Ben Zobrist had the game-winning 3-run homer yesterday in Pittsburgh. And he looks at ball one. Fly ball to left, twisting, and Worth can't get it. Ross is basically their 5th starter. And you talked about how good he has been with an ERA of under 1. The Cubs will not face Steven Strasburg this weekend, but small consolation considering how good this staff in general has been. And Strasburg, by the way, is 5-0 through 6 starts. And Zobrist lines to Rendon. Sunday night, kick back and enjoy an all-new new episode of Beer Money.
Ratings would go through the roof.
CSN tested the sports knowledge of fans at McDivitt's at Palos Park, and everybody was dressed. Tune in to see who won big. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light. Sunday at 7 on CSN. Ryan Kalish getting his first start of the year. He's playing left. Sounds like we'll see Jason Hayward in the lineup tomorrow. He did not play in that Pittsburgh series. Might see him off the bench tonight. And as I mentioned earlier, we may see Ben Revere activated on the Nationals roster.
So John Lackey and Max Scherzer pitching tomorrow.
1-2.
Yeah, so this guy, you know, sometimes you say guy's a sinker slider pitcher and you immediately think, well, it's just all about movement. But this guy's got some giddy up on his sinker too. He's going 94, 95. So they play the left-handed hitters a little bit the other way. You can understand why, because most hitters, they try to pull that sinker, are just going to hit it weakly on the ground to the right side. They're better off trying to shoot it the other way. Nationals anticipating that have Worth towards the line a little bit in left.
Murphy to Zimmerman. 2 outs, and it'll bring up Addison Russell. Bob Heilman, dedicated Cub employee, worked the press gate for 20 years. Recently lost his wife Elizabeth. Spent a lot of time together watching the Cubs, and we want to let Bob and his family know that we're thinking about them. Here's Russell. Slider strike. Cubs with a 6-game lead in the NL Central. Nationals a game and ahead of the Mets, game and a half ahead of the Mets in the East. Mets are in San Diego tonight. Cardinals trying to draw within 6 in the division. They shut out the Phillies 4-0 today. Russell strikes out, and the inning is over. 2 in the books. 0-0.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin with legendary sportscaster Steve Stone.
And I know the right team knows how to win, like Howard Ankin Law Office.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, I'm here to help. Please give me a call.
Put Howard's number in your phone right now, 312-6-million.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
When you paint with Frog Tape, something magical happens. Because Frog Tape is the only painting tape with patented paint block technology to give you the cleanest, sharpest lines possible. The patented paint block reacts with water and latex paint to form a microbarrier against paint bleed. Frog Tape Delicate even works on freshly painted surfaces, giving you maximum creative flexibility. For professional results when you paint, there's only one name to know. Frog Tape. Keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp.
Squirrel! Nice reflexes, Karen. One more step like that and our tires are going to be as bald as an eagle! It's like a safari out there. Let's stop at NTB. They're experts on tires, service, and repairs.
For a limited time at NTB, save $100 instantly when you buy 4 select tires. That's $100 off top brands like Goodyear, Continental, Cooper, and more. National Tire and Battery.
That's all you need.
Pterodactyl! Turner. We're back here at Wrigley with your Coors Light in-game report. Dusty Baker back at the friendly confines, and his first line to the media as he stepped into the new interview room was, wow, look at this place. A lot different than the dungeon I used to be in around the corner. But he said, look at the lights here. I thought I was walking into Saturday Night Fever. Of course, Dusty also with high praise for this 2016 Cubs team. Guys said even better than the team he had in 2003. He feels like they have much more depth and has been very impressed with the bullpen this season. So, Dusty, glad to be back in the Windy City.
Always good to see him. Thank you, Kelly. Espinoza pops up a bunt attempt, and Listella will make the catch. So 1 pitch and 1 out. So Dusty was out for a couple of years after his tenure ended in Cincinnati. Started a wine business, among other non-baseball things. Lots of family time. His daughter got married a couple of summers ago. His son Darren playing ball. But he felt like there was still some unfinished business, and there were all kinds of reports that Bud Black was going to get the job. But eventually Dusty got it, and I think obviously he walked into a good situation, but this is the kind of team that I think would respond well to Dusty. They've got some veteran guys.
Yeah, you know, he's kind of like Joe. You know, he's a quote-unquote player's manager. Kind of keeps it light, tries to have fun, and that's the nature of this job, right? The tendency is to go from bad cop to good cop.
Yeah, I don't think they had a lot of fun last year. And whether that was related to Matt Williams or not, it just was one of those years. They had the Papelbon Harper thing, tons of expectations. They underachieved, and so they were due to be better. And he has come right in and been a very popular guy in that clubhouse.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Saw him last year. He was doing a little TV work during the playoffs and talked about wanting to get back in.
Lined over the head of Kalish. First hit for the Nationals is a Michael Taylor 2-out double. Now Rendon. We'll look, and I don't know if it would change tonight because there's not a ton of room in that visiting dugout compared to a lot of other ballparks. But when Ross is on the mound, we'll see if we can find Max Scherzer charting the game. Something the new pitching coach Mike Maddox has instituted. That's an old school thing that pretty much nobody does anymore.
Yeah.
So there's Scherzer. We'll keep an eye on him in the bottom of the inning. And we will hear from Max Scherzer before his start on our pregame coverage tomorrow. Hendricks scoops and gets Rondon. Kyle's been sharp early, has allowed just 2 base runners and no runs through 3.
Thanks, man. Imagine if the things you bought every day earned you miles to get to the places you really want to go. With the United Mileage Plus Explorer card, you get a free checked bag, 2 United Club passes, priority boarding, and 30,000 bonus miles. Everything you need for an unforgettable vacation. The United Mileage Plus Explorer card. Imagine where it'll take you.
Just announced from Ford. 0% financing for 60 months. And now for a limited time, get an extra $1,000 smart bonus cash on Edge and Explorer. Ford, America's best-selling brand, now with a great offer. 0% financing for 60 months and an extra $1,000 smart bonus cash. Supplies are limited, so hurry while selection is best and see your local Ford dealer today.
How are you supposed to choose one? Simple. You don't. At Red Lobster's Create Your Own Seafood Trios, you get to pick 3 of 9 all-new creations for just $15.99. And with this many new flavors, trust me, you'll be glad you can try 3. Like creamy baked lobster Alfredo, and grilled chimichurri shrimp, and panko-crusted crab cakes bursting with crab meat. Because some choices are hard, but this one's easy. So hurry in before it ends.
Tonight's CSN bar of the game, presented by Coors Light, is Yaxie's Wrigleyville. Right across the street. To see the complete list of the CSN bars of the game, presented by Coors Light, visit csnchicago.com.
They certainly deserve that honor.
Yeah, we go over there on opening night, or opening day every year. Hang out with Lynn Bramer, Tim Fedorovich will lead things off against Joe Ross, Tyson's brother. Hendricks and Fowler also do. And the pitch. It's a strike right down the middle.
This was a first-round draft pick of the Padres in 2011. '25th selection overall. Scherzer got the chart.
He does. He's got a pen and a clipboard. The idea is for the next day's starter to get a look at the hitters on the other team and just to kind of keep them engaged.
Yeah,
they've really taken to it.
Back in the day, way back in the day, there wasn't all the video available, and so it was twofold. It was one, the pitcher would chart the pitches, so you put the pitch selection, location, result of the pitch, keep a pitch count. Maybe you'd have a spray chart as well, so where the ball was hit. I know when I was with the Twins, we were still charting, and we had 2 or 3 different pitchers keeping charts back then, but a lot of it was just compiling information for the club to use in the future, because they didn't have, they weren't doing as much with the video.
Two pitch.
For me,
strike 3.
I would put it under the category of it can't hurt.
Right.
As long as you're not getting a lot of pushback from your guys. I mean, I doubt that there's a lot of value in it, but as long as you're not getting a lot of pushback from your guys and keeps everybody involved and talking about the game and sharing ideas.
Here's Hendricks. He takes a strike.
Cubs pitching plan is put together by Mike Borzello and Chris Bosio. And of course, the catchers are involved too, and they have a very detailed plan. So no real need for the pitchers on the Cubs staff to keep a chart. This Sunday is Mother's Day, and Wrigley Field is going pink to promote breast cancer awareness. Join us as the Cubs take on the Nationals. 1:20 time. First 5,000 fans in the Budweiser bleachers will receive a Cubs Save Second Base T-shirt presented by Advocate Healthcare.
So that's 4 strikeouts. They've all been on the slider. Ross. Here's Fowler with 2 outs.
Yeah, this is the the Padres traded Ross to the Nationals. I'm not sure who they got in return. Man, this is the kind of guy you really covet. Young, hard thrower with good movement, nice clean delivery.
Ahead of Fowler, 0-2.
A three-way deal involving the Padres, Nationals, and Rays.
Ball strike 3. Dexter not happy with that call. He strikes out the side. That's 4 in a row now, Ross's fan.
There's a well-established script for building a crossover. We decided it needed a major rewrite. Stray the course. The agile Audi Q3. Unexpected luxury starts at $33,700. Experience the well-equipped Audi Q3 at your local dealer today.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better. At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Hi, I'm Max, your guide to everything RE/MAX. And whether you need to buy or sell in Northern Illinois, a RE/MAX agent will provide the service you expect.
Even in finding our dream home?
I'll show you. Hop in. Our agents can show you a unique perspective that will help you find that perfect home.
Shouldn't we drive?
We don't need to follow the same path everyone else takes. Plus, it's rush hour. The most knowledgeable, experienced, and trusted agents. That's why no one sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Start your search with a better perspective at IllinoisProperty.com.
Wednesday night, the Chicago Fire Soccer Club plays on CSN+. Stay glued to your TV as the men in red fight for a win over the Whitecaps. Coverage starts Wednesday at 8:30 on CSN+.
Hayward.
Well, pretty significant thing happened during the break. Dexter Fowler was saying to Vic Carpazza, last time I was up, you called it down. This time you're calling it up. Which is it going to be? And eventually he got ejected.
Yeah, and it looked like Dexter was heading back out to his position, and then Carapazza engaged somebody in the Cubs dugout, and that brought Dexter back into the conversation and never got particularly heated. That's why it was surprising when ultimately Carapazza ran Dexter from this ball game. You see, I'm really surprised.
And I think for Dexter it was more about, okay, so here's the first inning.
I don't think either one of them were egregious, but I'm just surprised he ran him. I mean, I think, you're not supposed to argue ball and strike calls, but usually an umpire will give you a little attitude after he rings you up, and Dexter never didn't appear to be really getting heated, cussing him out or anything like that. But
So Jason Hayward is in the ball game playing center. 1 on Harper. The crowd not too happy right now after Cubs leadoff man got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, now anything close they're going to want it. So is that guy. Joe went out and had a long conversation with Carapazza after the inning, and that did not get heated either. It's almost like Joe was kind of explaining something to him. Players getting caught up in the heat of the moment. It happens to umpires too. You know, I think sometimes umpires run a guy, and as soon as they do it, they regret doing it. Oh, man, I wish I hadn't have done that.
Three and 2 on Harper. Pitch is fouled away. Tough part of the order here. Harper, Zimmerman, Murphy. And he walked him.
Just a little bit inside. Talked last time about Harper and the fact that the guys at the top of the order have not gotten on base a whole lot. Just by comparison, Harper has, coming into this game, had 43 plate appearances with men on base. Anthony Rizzo had 70 plate appearances with men on base. 5 different Cub players had more plate appearances than Harper with runners on. And that's the value of all the walks the Cubs draw.
Zimmerman, the Nationals' first ever draft pick in 2005 after they moved to D.C. from Montreal.
UVA, right? University of Virginia.
Virginia guy.
Ground ball guy, so double play in order here with Hendricks on the mound.
Mr. Walk-Off. He's hit some dramatic game-ending home runs in his home ballpark.
I saw note third most in National League history, behind Musial and Tony Perez. Adam Lehman.
Out at first. Harper with no argument for the first base umpire, John Hirschbeck.
Great timing by Hendricks as Harper had just started to make his break.
It was really close, but they got him.
I'm a little surprised that Dusty's not out in front buying a little time.
That's why Zimmerman had stepped out. One is rolled to Zobrist. Nice turn of events, almost like a double play. Pick off, then a ground out, and all of a sudden 2 down, and it's Murphy. I don't know if there was more movement among second basemen, but I'm just kind of thinking about Murphy goes from the Mets to the Nationals. Walker goes from the Pirates to the Mets. Zobrist goes from the Royals to the Cubs. Castro, Cubs to Yankees. Who else am I missing? Those are just off the top of my head. 1-1. And on the hands, 2 balls and a strike.
Gene Segura's playing second base for the Diamondbacks these days. I'll take National League second baseman for 400, Alex. I have to get to the bottom of this. One of these, I was reading in the Nationals press notes on Blake Trinan in their notes. I like how they do their notes. They put little interesting little factoids in there sometimes. Is that possessing a hard sinker that's been clocked at 100 miles per hour earned Trinan the honor of being featured in a Jeopardy question in February.
Yes. Yep. Called strike 3.
Rembrandt.
Midway in the 4th, you've got the 2 best pitching staffs in terms of earned run average and no score.
Cubs versus Nationals series sponsorship presented by Echo Outdoor Power Equipment.
You're closer now than ever. Deadpool on Blu-ray helps you be ready anytime. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for Deadpool on Blu-ray. If you experience joint pain, easy bruising, vomiting, or clay-colored stool, stop watching Deadpool immediately. If you experience hair loss, skin sores, and irritability, you may actually be Deadpool. And if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, you're welcome. On Blu-ray and DVD.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back.
At Discount Tire, we'll get you the right tire at the lowest price for your vehicle. Get a $70 Visa prepaid card when you buy any set of 4 Michelin tires.
Make your day supreme with Dunkin's new Bacon Supreme Omelet Breakfast Sandwich. Loaded with peppers, onions, and potatoes. And topped with 2 slices of cherrywood smoked bacon and cheese. All on a freshly baked croissant. America runs on Dunkin'.
Chris Bryant and Bryce Harper, both from Las Vegas, played together when they were kids. Let's see, I recognize Harper, and there's Chris Bryant. Weird to see Chris not be taller than Bryce Harper, but obviously he had a growth spurt. They each got a key to the city this past offseason.
A good story in the Tribune this morning. The coach Lawrence talking about seeing those 2 guys as just kids and how awe-inspiring it was what they could do. Brian hitting a ball 300 feet when he was 10 years old, and then Harper with a wooden bat at the age of 12 or 13 hitting it 375 feet or something like that.
Costello with a double in the 1st inning. And he's got a single this time. 2 for 2. And the Cubs have the leadoff man on for the first time tonight. Brent Laurie, another new second baseman of the White Sox. Here's Bryant. The wind not a factor at all. Boy, 3 hours ago, it looked like it would be a great night to pitch in terms of the wind direction. Bryant sends one to deep center. Back toward the wall and into the vines. Taylor lost the ball. It's in the vines. And Bryant's probably just going to round the bases, but he'll be told to stay at second. And in fact, he has already been told to stay at second. Listella will have to go back to first. Yeah, Joe saying keep going.
Joe's saying hit his glove first, but I don't think that matters.
I don't think it matters if it's in the course of the play. Yes.
It's not like he reached in for it. Worth trying to make the case. It was interesting to see Taylor just kind of turn around, staring at the wall in disbelief, like what just happened?
The ball gets buried in the vines, but even though it did deflect off the glove, that should not matter. It was just in the course of making a play or attempting to make a play.
Boy, when I left the bat, I thought it was going to fly out of here because the wind is not blowing in right now. It made a real nice sound off of his bat. Just misses home run number 5, has to settle for a double, but a great chance here with Rizzo coming up as hot as he's been lately. Let's see how aggressive the Nationals are here with Big Riz.
So an 11-game hitting streak now for Bryant. Outside for ball 1. Now, if Taylor had reached into the vines to try to fish it out, that's a different story. But he made no such maneuver. So it was a fairly routine call for the umpires. Routine in air quotes because we are at Wrigley Field in terms of ground rules.
I think it would be kind of fun if that rule didn't exist.
They had to find a way to get, well, that's a home run
for it. I see some outfielder frantically shaking the vines. All right, very cautious here, understandably so. They're going to put him on.
So they will load the bases. 3-0 will be an intentional ball 4. Big chance here for the Cubs. 3 on, nobody out.
We'll look for 2 in the middle, just try to clean it up. Zimmerman backs off at first, and down the third baseman. A step or 2 behind the bag.
Here's a pitch. Ball 1. Listella scores. Bryant is in. The throw goes to third, and Rizzo's out. On the throw from Bryce Harper, well handled by Rendon, but it is 2-0 as Ben Zobrist gives the Cubs the lead.
Ross got his ground ball, but Zobrist able to find a hole on the right side of the infield. Good decision here by Harper. Had no play at home, so he takes a shot at Rizzo, makes a good, strong, accurate throw to third base. Oof.
Might be challenged.
Yeah, they're looking.
Yep, Joe is going to challenge the call.
Good pick and tag by Rendon. It's hard to tell.
So we will have a Forsyth Technology replay review. And my track record lately has been really bad, so I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to let him make the call. Rizzo's pretty good at being safe at third, isn't he, on those slides?
Yeah, remember last year did the pull it back. He's very nimble, very agile for a big fella. DJ Rayburn, the third base umpire, had a great look at it. Freeze it right there. That's good. That'd be a good painting right there. That shot right there. Get Leroy Neiman to paint that for you.
So asking, was I safe or what?
That look right there to me looked safe-ish.
I don't think ish
works.
Is
well,
listed
I know,
in the rules.
but that's it's not supposed to. But we've had some calls. We had one yesterday that they overturned.
And I think it's a really good challenge because, you know, it's a risk reward. You're in the fourth inning. If they do overturn it, first and third, nobody out. You're already up 2.
Oh, yeah.
You can put your foot on their neck. And if you lose the challenge, you lose the challenge. But I think it's definitely worth taking that chance. I would like one of the official calls on one of these to be, we have no idea.
Yeah.
As opposed to call stands, just say we can't tell.
We're just hung jury. We're just locked up.
Right.
We got nothing. We're gonna go into recess and we'll discuss it tomorrow. Cardinals were winners today. They beat the Phillies 4-0 behind Jaime Garcia. Brandon Moss went deep. Reds all over the Brewers 7-1 after 5 in Cincinnati. Big Pasta's pitching well tonight. Alfredo Simon, who's really had his struggles, and we've witnessed it a couple of times. All stands.
It was a long review, almost 4 minutes. Here's Kalish. So Cubs have 3 hits, 2 runs in the inning. I'm guessing to use your term, he was outish.
Yeah,
therefore the call stood.
Yeah.
One out, a runner on first.
See Zimmerman just throw the ball back to Ross. It looked a little funky. Remember, he had all those problems throwing as a third baseman. I wonder if anybody's tried a big one-way lead and break and force him to make a throw to second base. See how he's got that little hesitation. He's had all kinds of shoulder problems, and that was always the report out of the Nationals camp, that the throwing, the errors were all just because of the shoulder was not good. But when you watch him playing, it looked awful yippy to me. It looked like it was in his head, and that throw right there looks a little yippy.
I guess after our conversation, it would make sense. Ryan Kalish is up, right?
It does make sense. Ryan Kalish enjoying his return to the big leagues. Did not play last year. He had knee surgery. He's out all year, hanging out at home. He said he enjoyed it. He still wanted to play.
Murphy able to just knock the ball down. He misjudged where that ground ball was going to go. I don't know if he broke the wrong way or not. So 2 outs.
Looked like it was going to be an easy double play ball. Hit sharply right at him. Goes down to a knee and just, I don't know, maybe did he lose his footing a little bit?
So Murphy is asking the second base umpire Clint Fagan. Make sure he's out of the line of sight. Some umpires are affected by all the shifting, right? You might have a fielder or two say, hey, Clint, can you move maybe half a step this way?
A couple of youngins here. Russell and Ross, 22 years of age.
Zobrist, the runner at second, now 1 and 2.
You know what? That slider is mean. It's one of the better ones we've seen.
Two and 2, Fedorovich on deck. Two.
Everything away. One on the plate, everything else off the plate or down a little bit. I think they would take a shot inside at some point.
So 4 against the Nationals, 3 against the Padres, an off day next Thursday, and then the Pirates come in for 3. Cubs can get settled in here at home. The 3-2 swing and a miss to end the inning. Ben Zobrist with a 2-run single, and the Cubs have the lead 2-0 after 4.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
They treat you like you're their best friend or your family. It's almost like they can't do enough for you.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
I get a personal treatment here, and I recommend it.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I'm looking for the best price, and Fields gives you that. That's why we've bought so many cars from them.
Fields Matters because you matter.
FieldsAuto.com.
The Drive and Discover event is here at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $299 a month. Both with 0 due. Or this 2016 Dodge Caravan, only $16,997. Find it at Feeney. FeeneyAutos.com.
Cubs, Nationals, tomorrow at 12:30 on CSN.
Cub fans, we want to hear from you during tonight's game. Use the hashtag CubsTalk on Twitter. And be sure to follow at CSN Cubs all season long for the latest news on your favorite team.
Cubs have the lead.
Zobrist is trending.
Yes. Twitter asked, it was 3-0 on Rizzo. They threw an intentional ball 4. It is an intentional walk. A lot of people wondering, well, Michael Taylor didn't put his hands up when that ball went into the vines. Well, every one of his teammates did.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have to put your hands up.
It's just don't reach in. The rest of the team alerted the umpires to the fact the ball was lodged.
Taylor was standing there like he was waiting for Shoeless Joe to come out of the ivy.
Andre Dawson.
First pitch strikes. Yeah, that's his game.
It's really a good sign after not having pitched since a week ago Tuesday.
Yeah, and the thing about Kyle, a lot of those strikes are well placed too. He's not just throwing pitches over the middle of the plate. He's working the edges, living on the edge.
Jason Worth's next hit will be the 1,300th of his career. Springfield, Illinois native Jason Worth.
He's an early adopter of the long hair, long beard program.
Yeah, he's kind of got the Chris McCandless look. Did you ever see Into the Wild? Alex Supertramp?
I did not.
That's the kid who I think he dropped out of college, sold his car, and then just kind of hitchhiked to Alaska. You can Google it. Zobrist throws him out.
Is that called a gap year?
Check out the EMC Legends Suite located on the new Veen Investment Suite level. Not only will your group enjoy a gourmet food and beverage package, they'll also receive a pregame tour and a visit from a former Cubs player during the game. You'll talk baseball, take photos, and get autographs while hearing classic baseball stories. For more information, visit Cubs.com/premier. Ramos, recently on the bereavement list after the death of his grandfather, who had taught him the game when he was a kid. And our condolences go to Neil Ramirez and his family. His grandmother has passed away, so Neil placed on the bereavement list. And right-hander Spencer Patton has been recalled from AAA Iowa. He is in the bullpen and available tonight. 10 scoreless appearances with Iowa, and 4 for 4 in saves. Not hit hard. Russell's got some time, and Rizzo stayed on the bag. We'll see if this is a challengeable call.
I'm learning not to mark my scoreboard.
Right.
Rizzo with such good footwork over there. Yeah, yes, no doubt about it. Nice play. Addison hurried to, kind of forgot who was going down the line. Hurried to throw a little bit. No harm done.
Patton was a guy I definitely remember from spring training. Cubs liked him a lot, and here he is. So he'll be here for a few days. Previous big league time with Texas, and born in Urbana, Illinois. Spencer Patton. Espinosa, switch hitter. That was the CCR pitch.
CCR?
Yeah, down on the corner.
I like it.
Yeah, Espinosa's a guy who can go from clean shaven as he is tonight to that in like 10 days, I think.
That's a whisk broom. It's one of those things they use in curling. Good change.
1-2. Hopped over that one. Hit foul, back to the seats. Are we going to be in short sleeves tomorrow?
Could very well be.
Looking at temperatures possibly in the 70s. Temperature will finally catch up to your cultural reference points. 70s. So he finally hit him. He was working inside.
If an umpire was so inclined to make that he didn't try to get out of the way call, you could justify it right here.
That's the Fernando Vina. Yep.
It just kind of turns into it, hangs in there a little bit, takes one for the team. Craig Biggio was really good at that.
Yes, he was.
Biggio was even a little more overt.
Well, he had the elbow guard
wing
too,
out there,
right?
Yeah.
Did he ever get called for that? Or do they always give him
don't
the bigs?
Recall.
A couple of bounces. Russell, and he'll throw out Joe Ross. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Kyle Hendricks has been really good tonight, leading 2-0.
I have a list.
Okay.
So she needs automatic emergency braking, blind spot detection, and lane departure warning.
All available on the Elantra and Sonata.
And a better warranty than Toyota, Nissan, or Chevy.
America's best warranty, standard with every Hyundai.
Let's check in with the boss.
Okay. Sorry, excuse me.
We'll take both.
Hurry in and lease the 2017 Elantra for just $144 a month.
Just one.
She seems like a great boss.
Every insurance policy has a number, but not every insurance company understands the life behind it. For those who've served and the families who've supported them, we offer our best service in return. USAA, we know what it means to serve. Get an insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
In an instant, lives changed forever.
He was strapped in, but he hit him so hard he flew out the stroller.
Innocent bystanders killed and injured as a result of police chases. Families across the city and suburbs torn apart.
They just finally called it. He was gone.
The death toll is staggering and rising rapidly.
Putting lives at risk is a very risky business.
Could these deaths be prevented? NBC5's Phil Rogers investigates. Deadly Pursuit, tonight at 10.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan here with a Coors Light Cold Hard Fact Sportsnet Central update. After the final out of Cubs baseball here on CSN, stick around as Todd Hollingsworth will join me for Cubs Post-Game Live. Then Sportsnet Central recaps the day in sports. A huge night in the great city of Chicago. 4 first-place teams in town. Layla Rahimi, Christopher Bowden will bring you the latest after Cubs Post-Game Live. Time to head back to Wrigley. Take it away, Len and JD.
Cap, thank you, and we want to welcome all our viewers watching on Wide Open West Cable in the Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. By the way, Chris McCandless, I am told, did graduate college. I read the book long, long ago before he went off on his adventure. Tim Fedorovich takes ball 1. Ball 2 is missed up and outside.